Welcome to They're All People. Every conversation is a chance to give 1% more than expected.
It hit me the moment I stepped through the door. I was in some little restaurant tucked between a parking garage and a bookstore in a city I barely remembered. In town for a conference where every conversation felt rushed and every meal had been an afterthought. But this place felt different before I even sat down. The host looked up with a real smile and said, "Long day?" like she knew. My shoulders relaxed before I answered. She walked me to the table instead of pointing, set down a glass of water without me asking, and said, "Your server's name is Lila. She's amazing. She'll take great care of you," like I was stepping into someone's home. And then Lila showed up, not with a script, but with curiosity. I told her I wanted something comforting but not heavy, and she lit up like she had a secret just for me. "Got it," she said, tapping the corner of the menu. "Pair this with the ginger pear spritz, trust me." Everything slowed down after that. She brought bread warm enough that the steam curled upward. She checked in without hovering. As she helped me figure out what I was in the mood for, she asked, "Do you want to feel cozy or energized?" And somehow that small question made me feel like a person again after a day of being a name badge. The meal was good, but that's not why I remember it. What I remember is how effortless everything felt. The way she anticipated the refill before the glass hit empty. The way she explained the dessert like I was her only table. And then, at the end, the part that surprised me most. As I was bundling up to leave, someone hurried ahead to open the door. "Safe walk back," he said, like we'd known each other more than an hour. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't expensive, and nothing was over the top. But everyone there gave effort in a way that made my night easier to choose, easier to relax, easier to enjoy. And the feeling stayed with me long after the taste did. That's when I realized the most remarkable experiences aren't extravagant. They're human, thoughtful, and 1% past expected.
Man, it's wild how an experience like that sticks. I still remember the cable tech who slipped little labels onto every cord behind my TV so I'd never have to crawl back there again. No upsell, no speech. Just, "Future, you will thank me." He wasn't wrong.
So that, right there, is what we're talking about today. Being remarkable by giving just 1% more than people expect.
Yep, and it's not about pulling some grand gesture, right? It's about the small things. So here's the secret sauce, the formula we geek out on. The 3 E's: effort, ease, and emotion. Effort means you actually notice. Ease is when you make it simpler for someone. And emotion is that personal touch that makes it feel special.
Exactly. When you get that mix right, even just a touch of each, that's when you go from meeting expectations to making someone's day. The Ritz-Carlton folks do this like religiously. That legendary story where a staff member overnighted a left-behind teddy bear to a family, complete with photos of the bear doing spa treatments at the hotel. Effort, ease, emotion, all dialed up in that one tiny surprise.
And honestly, it's not just for the fancy places. You can do this anywhere. The real power is that the little extras are doable, even in the middle of a wild workday, if you're paying attention. The bar's low for remarkable. Most people are just doing the basics.
So if you're listening and thinking, how do I actually stand out? We're going to break down what that extra 1% looks like, and trust me, it's not about putting in more hours, it's about how you show up each time.
Alright, so let's get real. What's the difference between doing your job and being remarkable at your job? For me, it's the little stuff, like I make a note if a client has a giant golden retriever named Duke, who loves to run off with my gloves every Thursday. I'll bring a treat and ask about Duke every time I see the client. That takes, 10 seconds? But it hits different. People light up. Or when you're walking to the side yard and you stop because the downspout is hanging loose, I grab it, clip it back in and say, "This'll help keep water away from the foundation." No drama, no upsell, just doing the right thing in the moment. It's that anticipation thing. It's like running a play before the coach even calls it.
Exactly. Most folks just wait for the obvious. But going 1% further means you find and address little things that are meaningful to people. Effort is the finding, ease is figuring it out for them, and emotion is letting them know you care.
Just so we're clear, the effort is in noticing, the ease is what you help with or simplify, and the emotion is in how you make it personal. But I've been asked, how far do I need to go?
Right, it's all about knowing what that client really values. Usually, they don't want a grand gesture, they just want to know you're actually paying attention. The biggest wins are often the smallest efforts.
So if you're wondering, how do I spot the chance for 1% more? Just look for the routine stuff everyone else ignores. It's hiding right there. And then plug in the formula, put in a touch of effort, make something simpler, or add emotion. Or hey, go for all three at once.
Couldn't have said it better. If you're not sure, just ask yourself, what would I appreciate if I was the one on the receiving end here? Makes it simple.
And that's where remarkable service gets built, brick by brick.
You know what I love about the extra mile? It turns ordinary moments into stories. It's why people rave to their friends about an experience they just had. Human nature remembers the feeling more than the task.
We had a client once whose mom was sick, and she needed to leave to be with her, but her backyard gate wouldn't latch right, and she was worried about her dog getting loose. Andrew spotted her wrestling with it, stopped what he was doing, fixed the latch, and tested it so she felt safe heading out. She almost teared up. She told that story to everyone on the street, and suddenly we were the team that looks out for people.
That's it. People share what made them feel seen. I read about this Southwest Airlines story. The gate agent held the flight for a grieving family. Technically, it might have been a rule bender, but emotionally, it was everything. That family felt a human connection in a moment they needed it.
Yeah, and listen, sometimes you'll wonder, am I doing this right? I always think if people are telling stories about how you made them feel, even if it's just small stuff, you're on the right track. Over time, it adds up. You become the person, or the team, or the company where people know they'll be treated like people, not transactions.
So we're going to leave you with this to close out this chapter and this book. Remarkability starts 1% past expected, not with fancy tricks or extra work, but with a little extra heart. Get great at finding ways to serve, reduce friction, and connect. When you give more of your humanness, that's what people remember. That's what becomes your story.
Couldn't think of a better note to end on. Amani, always a pleasure. We'll see you all in the next book.
You've been listening to They're All People. Don't wait for culture to change. Start it with your next conversation.